Hey, everybody, welcome to TPIM. I start live. I'm your host, True Powers Mind. Today, I got a very special guest, Dr. Randy Short, and we are calling him right now. Oh, today's date, October 24, 2019, the year of our Lord.
Please leave your message for...
Uh-oh. Hold on. There we go. Doctor, you there? Hold on 1 second. No, that should be a lot better.
It's not even good.
Oh.
They've got some additives. Maybe they got some leaves out their front yard. Whatever you smoke, particularly bad.
Well, now
when people smoke weed, Weaver, it causes my trachea to itch. And if they have really cheap weed, it really makes me itch. I had to tell someone that that person mixed your weed with yard clippings. Maybe if I don't even get high, let me help you buy some weed so I don't have to sneeze and cough because your little cheap ass is in here.
I thought Maryland was one of those states where weed was still illegal.
No, it's legal.
Oh, is it? Well, we're seeing the end of a prohibition for sure.
End of what?
End of an era or prohibition, a marijuana prohibition.
Yeah, well, fine.
But I see what you're saying, though. Doctor, we were talking about Mike Miller before I brought you on the line. That was amazing.
Right.
You literally talked about him, and the very next day, he's gone.
Right.
Do you feel that is an answer to a prayer?
Well, I can tell you last night I was tired, super tired, so I went to sleep about 10 o'clock. Anyone that knows me knows I'm normally up until about 2 or 3. And I had a deep sleep, and when I woke up about 2, I had this impulse to call Bishop Sisempa in Uganda and pray. Normally we get together and pray for God to get rid of folks who are oppressing Black people. Last time we got together and prayed was Thursday last week. And, of course, he was praying for the political opposition to Reba Hawkins to be moved. And I was praying for God to kill the political opposition to Reba being in office. We both praying. Wow. And the reason we prayed is I called and I told him, I can't prove this, but I believe in my spirit something telling me Elijah Cummings is going to die tonight. And I just wanted a little bit of extra spiritual stuff to push it on over the cliff. So we started praying, and of course he died that night. Last night we went to an event talking about marijuana and reparations for African Americans. And after, when I was there, I basically dogged Mike Miller and asked, how long will Black people suffer this man? He blocked everything. His great-grandmother had Abraham Lincoln shot in the head because they didn't want Black people to be free. And he's worse than she is. And one of the men who's in the Black Caucus told me that he agreed, and then off the record, I can't say who, he told me Mike Miller was on life support. Of course, he also said Mike Miller was sick to the assembly. And, I said, amen. I said, he's not going to live too long. And I said, hallelujah. No, to be honest, I'm not sentimental about wicked people. I wish all the wicked people would die. Okay. Yes, I'm sick of them. They're holding us down. I mean, especially Black ones, the ones closest to us. I mean, as everyone knows, I draw a line between Black people and coons. Black people on one side and coons on the other.
Because of the damage
I don't
that they
want
have done?
breathing the same air as me. I don't want to drink from the same water fountain as a coon. I don't want to use the same shower facilities. I want to be segregated from coons. I don't want them in school with the children I have. I don't want coons driving buses. I don't want coons trying the same clothes that I try in the store. I want to be completely separated from coons. I don't want to live in the same neighborhood. I don't think I could vote for a coon to hold elected office. I don't want to buy from coons. I don't want to marry a coon. I don't even think coons have the same blood types as ordinary black people. Okay, that's how I feel about it. So I'm bigoted against coons. I'm proud of it. I don't need a reason to dislike coons. Okay, that's how I feel about coons, and I don't believe the coons go to heaven.
Coons don't go to heaven. Oh, I'm sorry, Doctor. That movie. I was all dogs go to heaven, but not you coons. Wow.
Not coons, no. You know, let me share with you why a coon is not likely to go to heaven. It's biblical. It says in all things give thanks to God. That's an order. Are coons thankful for being black? Are coons history? Are coons thankful for our black queens and our black kings and our black princes and princesses? Are they thankful for our heritage? Are they thankful for our history? Are they thankful for our struggle? No. The Bible doesn't like ingrates. A coon is a natural ingrate. A coon is wicked. A coon is faithless. In fact, you can't please God without faith. You have no faith in your people, no faith in your women, no faith in your men. You're faithless without faith. You're an affront to God. God doesn't like coons. And as it says in the Bible, David says, I hate those that hate you.
No.
He's referring to God. In fact, coons hate God if Jesus Christ happened to be a man of color. Coons wouldn't be Christians if they found out the Bible's talking about black folks who are good and bad at the same time. Anything we stand for, coons are for the opposite. If we want a family to be black man and black woman, coons want to be two men and two women. Coons think pedophilia is good. Coons think that folks being on drugs is good. Coons think that we shouldn't have decent housing within. Coons think that 1% of the black folks should have everything and the other black people have nothing. Coons think that white people should kill everybody black but them. Everything we stand for, the coons on the opposite side of it. There should be a separation. The Bible says, be ye separate, touch not the unclean thing, and I'll reclaim you. Coons are unclean. We need to be separated from them. I mean that. That's even in your family. If you have a coon, don't speak to them. I wouldn't go to a family reunion full of coons. All they're going to do is have a bunch of pork and bad music.
Pork and bad music. Oh, my God.
So, no, coons always support the police killing us. Coons like food deserts. Coons like colorism. Coons like weave. Coons like giving all our money to other people in other communities that hate our guts. Coons hate Africa. Coons hate America. Coons hate everything except for themselves and the dream that they'll be wanted by people who hate their guts and they love them.
That's like Uncle Ruckus off the
I'll take you right to the Bible. It says, if I forsake vain idols in my heart, I forsake. If I regard vain idols, it's Jonah 2:8. If I regard vain idols, I forsake mercy. God can't help a coon that worships white supremacy and hates their own black people. God don't even like you. You need to repent. Being a coon is sinful. It says be grateful, be thankful, right? It says contentment. Godly contentment is great gain. A coon is unhappy being black. A coon hates their hair, hates their lips, hates their race, hates their women, hates their men. Being a coon is ungodly. Being a coon is saying it's a mistake for me to not be a white person. It says you're subject not God to a test. How dare someone tell God that they should be something other than what he made them as? How dare them say, I'm a woman on the inside when they're a man, or I'm a man, and yet they're a woman. See how coons are? Being a coon is the essence of sin. Satan was a coon. The demons are coons. Jezebel was a coon. Cain was a coon. Ahab was a coon. And you see the same people today that call successful black people, and they ain't nothing but coons.
Damn. Full circle.
Abortion is cool, right? Pedophilia is good for coons. Well, we need capitalism. I want unrestrained capitalism. Well, slavery was unrestrained capitalism. Sharecropping, a convict lease, credit redlining, token segregation, token integration, subprime lending is unrestrained capitalism. Organ harvesting, strip mining, cross-cutting, right? All the stuff. So, I just want to live in the world. In fact, if you wanted to define heaven for me, heaven is a place where there are no coons. God's going to wipe away all the coons, and we're going to be happy. Everybody will have dignity and self-respect, and all the folks that hate themselves will be in torment and fire. How fitting. Like the one that stabbed Dr. King, and the ones who helped Dr. King get killed, and the ones that set up Fred Hampton, and the ones that turned in Nat Turner, and the ones that killed Malcolm X. And the ones that worked with the others with the Tuskegee experiment. Hell is too good for a coon.
Wow. Harsh indictment.
They made this life harsh for us. Coons make life miserable. We already had the racism. And then the coons, it's sort of like a person getting shot and laying down with the wound to their stomach, and the coon comes and takes a bowel movement on top of it.
Oh, stop.
And they tell you, well, everybody else did something. But everybody else didn't take a bowel movement on top of my abdominal wound. That's what coons are. So I'm against coons. In fact, I don't even want a question from them. If a coon hears I'm on the show, hang up. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to take your question.
When we're speaking of these spiritual things, you're bringing the spiritual fire today. Did you happen to see that report pertaining to witches casting a spell on Trump?
Well, yeah, but it obviously isn't working.
Do you think?
You think about it. Hold on, Nancy Pelosi is a witch. Hillary Clinton is a witch. He beat Hillary Clinton. He'll beat Nancy Pelosi too. And Kamala Harris is a witch. You have to understand divination. When she was giving those BJs in the City Hall in San Francisco to help Willie Brown, whenever you try to do something of the flesh, it's a manipulation. It is sorcery. It is witchcraft. Kamala Harris is a witch. She can't get it. Feminism is witchcraft. To try to put a woman in a man's place, God has a divine order. And feminism is nothing but a gutter religion. It's updated Balaam worship where you kill babies and you support the sodomite agenda from a feminine perspective. That's all it is. It's all it ever be. And that's why the women are unhappy. They're usually unattractive, often overweight, and miserable.
But they want equal rights.
Well, they don't want equality in anything. They don't think men are equal to women. A woman's always right, a man's always wrong. What's equal about that?
Nothing.
Exactly. They don't know what equality is. In fact, if they do like a man, they want him to go to the gym, and they need a forklift or a scooter to move around because they're so
heavy. You are on fire today, Doctor. You are on fire today.
So let's just talk about Mike Miller real fast. He's a desperately evil and wicked man. He has all he has done is hurt black people for fun. I was just on the phone with my cousin when you called. That's why I stalled you. Mike Miller assaulted me back in November of 2010. First, he sneered at me and my cousin because we weren't bowing to him. I didn't know who he was to bow to him. Yes, in Maryland, black people bow down before a white man. Yes, they do. I saw them bow.
Wow.
They bowed. not completely, but like a Japanese, sayonara and konnichiwa, they were bowing before this white man like he was God. And we didn't bow, and he got angry and sneered at us. And I asked him, well, what was that? I said, I don't know. We said hi, but it wasn't enough. We didn't bow when we said hi. So when we were standing, he came up behind and threw a tackle blow on our backs, almost knocked us down, and walked like he didn't do it. And let me tell you what these little black officials in the Democratic Party, this is what black Democrats do. God, they're weak. They all covered their faces to try to act like they didn't see him assault us. What? So they would, if we would have filed a police complaint, they never saw it. We lied on this man.
Oh, so they're protecting their own.
No, actually, you're not protecting your own. Because when their kids get arrested and thrown in jail, they can't get any help from Mr. Miller either. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
No. And then you know what happened? One black woman who was from the Democratic Central Committee said, oh, you have to understand, Mike is like that.
What?
You mean Mike assaults black men and they're all cool about it?
Well, they were cool with Ed Buck, so I mean.
Well, yes, yeah. It should have been Ed, you know what, with an F instead of a B.
Kim is his middle name. Edward Chemical Buck.
So check this out. The sister told me that Mike Miller. Oh, he goes something. Hold on, let me bring him in.
Hold on, here's a caller. Hello. Hold on. Caller, you there?
McKinley. Yes, I'm here. McKinley.
What's up?
McKinley.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm on the radio, but you should stay on because I mentioned your name. This is Paul McKinley out of Chicago with the voice of the ex-offender. And he was sharing with me some stuff happening. I just shared last night that I do consulting for the voice of the ex-offenders, and this is the president and founder, McKinley. And what I call him about, I'll repeat it. Hey, Paul, the white dude, the one that's been screwing black people over, whose family was the largest slave-holding family in the state of Maryland, he just stepped down today. He's the neo-segregationist black slave breaker by the name of Thomas B. Mike Miller. He's been in the Senate since 1975, has been in the Assembly House since 1970 or 71. 44 years. He's the one that tried to, he's the one that made certain that the men that killed my cousin, Freddie Gray, they killed him on camera. They broke his back. And he made certain that none of them got any kind of charges. Nothing. We all seen it. We all saw what they did. Mike Miller has always helped the police and others get away with killing and beating and brutalizing black people. When they were trying to get schools in Baltimore, he forced jails to be built, not schools. We're not even talking about colleges. We're talking about elementary schools and so forth. Anything that black people want, he's against it. If I ran a candidate for office, and because Mike Miller said she shouldn't be in that position, even though she had held it before and had been good in her job, nobody would even speak to her or listen to her program or her platform because Mike Miller said no. Anything for black people, no. That's why if you go to Baltimore, it's all in ruins. You go to Prince George's, a lot of black folks live in rough areas. There's all this tax money, all this revenue, and none of it gets to black people. And a handful of Negroes do okay, but the only way you eat is you have to eat from Ahab's table, which is Mike Miller. And now he's picked another Boss Hogg-looking white dude named William Ferguson, another slave breaker type, to be his replacement. And you know what? The little black folks in the Democratic Party, I just can't respect black Democrats. None of them. They've got 55 people, and they have one little white old dude punk all of them at one time. Come on, man. Come on. This Mike Miller is like a disease. So he has cancer, and I called everybody last night because when I was at the Reginald Lewis Museum talking about reparations and marijuana, and I was talking about Chicago, we were talking about the laws that Brother Paul and others helped fight to get criminal justice reform in the state of Illinois. So that's who's on the phone, among other things.
We also have a caller. We have a caller for you, Doctor, as well.
Yeah, well, we've got to.
I don't even want to interrupt his flow. Let the brother continue to build. Let him keep cooking, and then at the appropriate time, I'll chime in. But he's cooking right now, so I have no problem remaining silent. Let the brother cook.
Okay, that's fine. Just so Paul and them are the ones that helped force that closet queen, Rahm Emanuel, to step down. They're the ones that forced through the Laquan McDonald conviction on Van Dyke, that little cracker that shot that boy 16 times. He should have gotten 100 years. Amber Geiger got more time than he did almost. Damn. Anyway, Bill Cosby got more time than both of them. And all he did was give that bitch some Viagra. She looked like she needed Cialis. Come on, there's no such thing as blue Benadryl. I take Benadryl all the time. I take it like M&Ms because I have sinuses. It's never been a blue M&M in my life. So I wonder what she got. She probably got the clitoris the size of a Chiquita banana. Anytime she needs to take Viagra to get off. I'm just saying, Bill's my cousin. I don't hate Bill. I just heard someone mention that he was on the manifest for Orgy Island. I'm hoping that's a lie.
What's Orgy Island? Is that Epstein's outfit down there?
Yes, I haven't seen that, so I hope that's not true. So let's just say that's a lie for someone that don't like Bill. Because everybody know how I feel about pedophilia. That's the one that's I'll turn on you real fast over that. Kids should be allowed to be children. Anyway, back to Mike Miller. He's the one that had got the gay marriage through. He's the one that pushed the mass incarceration. He's the one that made certain that black schools and black colleges are underfunded. He's the meanest, nastiest, most vicious, despicable human being in politics, white, that's been the last half century. And stage 4 cancer to the 10th power wouldn't be as satisfactory enough for me for what he's done. I've had family in Maryland for centuries, and actually, if you count Indians, for thousands of years. He's done more to hurt us than even the initial arrival of white people here. So when I got up last night to call my bishops Sasempa and Kampala, Uganda, to pray that God kill him, at least or get his ass out of office. And of course, within the last 2 hours, 2.5 hours, he's announced he's stepping down. And he had the nerve to go to Morgan State College. They just gave a take it or leave it offer. They've systematically underfunded the black colleges in Maryland: Coppin State, Bowie State, Towson State, Eastern Shores University, Salisbury State, and Bowie. And there may be one other I don't remember off the top of my head, right?
Right.
They only want to give them $200 million, and they should give them maybe $2 or $2.5 billion. And they said, take $200 million, take it or leave it. A governor who looked like Humpty Dumpty before he fell. But this is a situation. So Mike Miller's going, and I'm hoping that black folk rise up. I've been saying that black people in Maryland, with Baltimore in particular, Baltimore is the North Star. This is where the whole idea of black armed resistance, before there was a Black Panther, there was Henry Highland Garnett getting black people guns to fight back. Frederick Douglass was educated here. Harriet Tubman learned here. Thurgood Marshall learned here. Irene Morgan, the mother of the modern civil rights movement, was educated here. One of the innovators in jazz, Cab Calloway, is from here. The Mitchell dynasty, with Clarence Mitchell Sr. being recognized as having the power of a senator without having elected office, is from here. The first independent black political party was here. The first major city in America where black people tried to do reverse gentrification to take over a city was here. The Afro-American newspaper, one of the most important instruments of black mass literacy and consciousness, is from here. From the 1780s until the 1860s, this was the largest free black community in the American hemisphere. And that's why they focused in on crushing the black people here and how they have to stand up. And it's the only city on the East Coast in the last 20 years, if not last 30 years, where people have shown that they're not willing to go down. And so Mike Miller leaving is a sign. Elijah Cummings passing is a sign. The wicked, sinister, and degenerate former mayor of Baltimore, Thomas D'Alessandro III, the brother of Nancy Pelosi, who was mayor from 1967 to 71. And he was there to oversee the Jewish mafia bringing in the heroin to destroy the black community, to punish them for a rebellion because of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. He has died. His funeral is next week. And if y'all want to know what I prayed for, I said, God, please, in the name of Jesus, kill Mike Miller and anybody else that's been holding black people down. In fact, if you could do it on Thursday or at least Friday morning, so Elijah Cummings can't get too much attention, or you could do it next week to take some muster off of Thomas D'Alessandro III, I'd appreciate it. In fact, I might be able to pay my tithes. Amen. And so at least he stepped down. After 44 years, I'm not saying he wasn't going to do it. I didn't know he was going to step down. But I do know I told Reba, and I told other people, his ass would be gone today. I was hoping for permanence, but at least he stepped down. Maybe I need to fast. You know, I've been eating all this fast food and food that's maybe God don't hear prayer when it's full of greasy chicken from Asiatic. So maybe I need to fast for a day or two and pray again. You know, his birthday is December 3rd, and I'm like asking God, don't give him another one. Just for the black people, you know, prove that, you know, you're a fair, honest broker. And if you're a wicked white person, you can die just like a righteous black person prematurely than a white person who's of a mature age who's wicked can go too.
Now, Carly.
Oh, no, I have to add something. I have to do one more thing. I need your help. In fact, I got to call the brother back. You know that they're making a movie, a degenerate, vulgar attack on black people movie. They may as well call it Fag Hampton instead of Fred Hampton. They're going to make the Chicago Black Panther, who was martyred December 4th, 1969, almost 50 years ago. In fact, December 4th is the day after Mike Miller's birthday. Okay, and they're going to have gay people play Fred Hampton's, I think him and his wife or his girlfriend. So they're going to make Fred Hampton gay. And I guess all power to the people be him in a bathhouse with this thing hanging through a glory hole. Oh. This is what these people are doing to us. And they got two sellout black producers. We need to boycott that thing. In fact, if folks know who the producers are, tell them to get a damn check back. We have to stop this movie. Fred Hampton deserved to live to an old age, and he should not be made into RuPaul with the Panther beret on, you know. And the shotgun probably be hanging out his behind. They have anyway, right? And the breakfast program would be in his drawers instead of in the church basement. This is the kind of stuff that these people are doing to us.
Wow. Yeah, the war on imagery, you know, the war on our collective image is definitely real. And apparently our
they made Malcolm X gay. They're trying to make Dr. King gay. You know what? They're gonna make you think that Benjamin Banneker was humping on the Washington Monument when he put out the plan. This is the kind of stuff that they do. I'm just tired of it.
He's on the pole.
That's what the monument represents, though, a phallus. Am I correct?
Yeah, but the point
the Washington Monument is a representation of the white male penis. It's supposed to be a representation of the phallus. And I'm not. Am I able to open up my commentary?
Or us stuck on them.
Hold on.
That's what they want. To twist this thing around and to just make all this nasty stuff. It's like I was talking to the bishop, and he said that in Uganda they've been saying that the folks have been killing gay people, and I know some people in Uganda that are gay. They said it's not true. So the straight pastor told me it's not true, but they want to force this in Africa to say, oh, they're just killing all the gay people now. Boko Haram has killed tens of thousands. Don't talk about that. The Fulani Herds is killing thousands of Christians in Nigeria. But one sissy get killed in Uganda, and it's front page news everywhere.
That's
and you know what I'm gonna tell the Africans? Maybe if y'all enlarge your rectums, when y'all get killed, y'all get some news attention too. Maybe they'll pay attention to other genocides if your rectums were a little more stretched out of shape. You could get some help, or at least some newsprint. Is that what it is? Or at least put some mayonnaise in your mouth. Says, oh, you have a human rights problem, right? This is really ridiculous. This is what, and so, yeah, the black folks who like this, y'all traitors. If you let this happen to your community, and the only thing that matters to you is poles and holes and swallowing body fluids when your people are dying out here, something's wrong with you. You are mentally ill.
All right, now we got the caller was trying to speak on the Washington Monument thing, but then there was this.
Yeah, well, we understand what it is. I know. I live in D.C. I know all about the monument. I probably was up in it before they was born. My point is that they want to make every black male character gay.
Right.
Okay.
But gay and muscle
bound. They're gonna make Iceberg Slim gay. Okay. They're gonna make Jim Brown gay. Okay. They're gonna make James Brown gay. I Feel Good was about a man. Okay. Everything. Hey! See, if you understand the coded things that James Brown was speaking to secret language to people in the closet, right?
Right.
You know, get on the good foot. James Brown was talking about footing. He was talking about footing, but you don't know because you've been by it. I'm telling you, if you go to elite schools, they twist everything around. You know, and Diana Ross ain't no mountain singing about a sex toy. Ain't no mountain high enough because she's not satisfied with it because Diana Ross, and they'll do all this kind of stuff. And you know, and Louis Armstrong, Hello Dolly, that song was to a transgender. Open up your mind. I'm telling you the kind of stuff they do at collection. And everything is this. And we shall overcome. Well, what is undercoming? Exactly. Overcoming is when it falls out. And that can only happen on a man. You see, we've been here. We were a part of it. And then start claiming all this stuff.
Sick.
Right? How I got over, that's talking about the male superior position. It's not gospel. Everyone knows gospel music is dominated by gays speaking in double entendres. Right? And that's what they do. They take all the black history. Before you know, everything is basically gay history. The middle passage is really about when the men got loose on the boats, when they would be unchained on deck, they would relieve themselves. It wasn't as bad as what you heard from Claude Anderson and Ivan Van Sertima. I mean, if you get these people come and just make everything different. There were loving relationships when the bucks were broken. A lot of them overcame the taboo of being with the white man when they were broken. I'm not saying, this is a kind of fictive recreation revisionism that happens all the time. Manning Marable did it with making Malcolm X, was basically, singing Bad Girls before Donna Summer was born, making himself available to white men. I don't believe this stuff. I was just talking to Yasser Shabazz over WhatsApp a couple of days ago. It's disgusting.
Wow.
Now, we have to respect Robert E. Lee's family and Nathan Bedford Forrest's family and Mr. General Benning's family, who racist for Benning George's name for. But when it's a black person, their children, people who died not too long ago, Martin Luther King died within my lifetime, and so did Malcolm X. And their children alive have to hear all this garbage, but white folks who really did wicked stuff, no one can talk about them. And by the way, we got to talk about this for a second. I really like Professor Black Truth and Black Authority. And I was just talking to his sister that Black people do need to master the power of exclusion. We need to learn how to exclude people, right? If every man was up on your wife, why would you want her? Her pants and her skirt and all this stuff being up is exclusionary. You have locks on your door, locks on your car. You don't use the same toothbrush as your wife. You exclusively use your own. You don't use the same washcloth. You don't know if they use that washcloth to wipe behind the douche with you put on your eye. You have a big red eye that looks like a jelly bean. You have to keep certain things separate and exclusive for safety, security, and for privacy purposes. A person that does not pay the bills has no right to be in your house. That's why you have a lock on the door. That's why you have security windows.
Right.
Our race has been like a house with open doors that are unlocked and no windows. Anyone can come in. Junkies, pedophiles, rapists, thugs, squatters. And that's what LGBTQ is to us. Unwanted invaders of our sacred private space, of our home front, our home sphere. And they can come under other names, feminism, right?
Right.
Zionism, all these isms that have nothing to do with Black economic empowerment, Black self-determination, Black self-respect, Black freedom, Black gun ownership, Black business entrepreneurship, communal collective sharing of wealth for the upliftment of our people. It has nothing to do with that. Never has and never will. The greatest power that you can have for your home is to have that ADT, to have that pit bull dog or dogs, to have a fence, have a rattlesnake or something, that someone come in and get the hell bit out of them. That, your security and your ability to exclude people who have no right to be there is something that makes your home or your community, your castle, your space. And the Black gay community that brings these invaders in, the Black liberals, the Black Democrats, the Republican coons that bring people into our community that are not guests, that do not contribute, that do not build up, are about weakening us. We have to exclude, okay? The power of the Red Cross was that they began to exclude people with diseased or contaminated blood, or who would trust the Red Cross? So how can we trust our own community if we let every kind of filth, scam, or disease or degeneracy associate commonly amongst us unrestrained without any restrictions? Black lives matter. Or should I say black fags matter? Enemies, traitors. Black youths 100, not black youth. Nothing black about you.
Wow.
We should not have people, the National Association for the Abolition of Black People, because they ain't trying to keep us alive. Urban greed. We need to be excluded and separated from them. Our ancestors built castle walls like the Great Zimbabwe to keep people unwanted out for the safety, security, and prosperity of the community of the collective. Every time I'm trying to save Cab Calloway's house, and when I call all these programs that do black music and culture, I'm talking to someone who isn't black.
True. Because they have the resources. Everything. They have the ability to have the studios.
Truth. We need some exclusivity. It's just us. Part of the things that happened is when black men and women at least got some degree of freedom, master didn't get first stabs in the drawers of your woman. That's freedom. Black women, that you don't have to screw all the white men before you can be with your own man. And by the way, it's freedom black men too, that you didn't have to be with the white man or Miss Ann before you could be with your woman.
Two-way street, huh?
And we need to be very careful of how they build up people like Kamala Harris and Cory Booker and Barack O'Faga and other enemies of the people who have they've been included, that they look like us, but they're not of us. And beware of entertainers. And that nasty little boy with a song about anal sex,
What?
Old Country Road.
Oh,
Why don't you just say asshole and let people know what he's really talking about? Why do you think Booty Gig wanted to do a video with him? He probably wanted his Old Country Road repaved, resurfaced, and black asphalt.
well, that's yeah. I'm seeing this common theme, Doctor, with you saying that when we're breaking it down, you look at the entertainers, the politician, and one thing they have in common is the support of the homosexual.
Did you just hear the one saying, sucking a lot of penises don't make you gay? And if you just want to taste it and see, oh, that person, ooh, that's like now they, well, it's like Jolly Ranchers, so that's like some old Jello from Dollar Store. I don't really like the flavors. I'll stay with the vagina. I'm sorry. No.
Well, that
I'm sorry.
Malik Yoba guy was suggesting that you could be straight and sleep with transsexuals.
Given the football team don't make you gay doing that, well, you just was trying it. And my thing is, maybe it doesn't make you exclusively, but you're going too close to the edge of the cliff. You may as well fall on the hell over. And he's a church musician.
Oh.
I wonder how much he tried.
A church musician?
And why would you tell on yes, well, you know, a lot of folk have been raped by church musicians. I know my cousin was. That's what I was testifying before the D.C. Judiciary Committee. My cousin was raped by a church organist, and he ended up being a big-time drag queen performer. He died of AIDS.
Wow.
I feel really bad about that because I knew of him, but I didn't know that he was in the same family. I remember hearing people talk about he died of AIDS.
Wow.
What a disgrace.
That's the punishment from the universal law. That's the punishment.
But the point
doing that evil.
The person that raped him never got punished. He never got counseling. As I said, I'm not about trying to destroy or hurt people in the community, especially those who've been victimized, because those people need to be healed, but I don't want them to be predators. My comment is stop passing the pain. Like for Malik, or I'm a Freak Yogurt from New York, Under the Covers, or it should be New York Uncovered, because she's been caught.
But when you heard his interview, he's bringing that narrative out, talking about if he's a man, he can sleep with these little, and they're young boys that he's talking about, apparently, little cross-dressers.
Yeah. But the point is do they get on top of it? But see, to me, I have a problem. I'm going to say this real fast. I'm sick of black folks having good and bad gayness. It's either all good or it's all bad. So you mean if I violently take someone, I'm straight. But if I'm passive and I either get raped or I enjoy it, I'm bad. But the person that does it is good.
That's insane.
And he's come in, that's Malik Yoba. All these people are coming in saying, well, I just drilled the person because they asked me for it. I wasn't really involved. Well, yeah, you were. Your sensory nerve organs and the prepuce of your penis reached your brain. And so forth, when the person's lips were on the sheath of your you-know-what.
Right.
You were receiving stimulation. The same way you drink, if you're an alcoholic, if you drink wine or beer or spirits for the impact of the alcohol, you are an alcoholic. If you are having intercourse with the man for stimulation and pleasure, you are at least bisexual. Period. There is no back and forth. It's one thing to like people of the same sex, but to keep it in context, like I like talking to you, brother.
Right.
But I'm not interested in having your nuts on my chin. That's really not required.
No, that's no.
People who need that are on a level that's with. As I said, I like my guys. I have great buddies. They're good people. There's not enough brotherly love and compassion in our community. But we ain't talking about brotherly love and compassion. We're talking about straight up, vile, vulgar, self-destructive, degenerative sex that tears down the honor of men. It tears the man's body down, tears the woman's body down. It hurts the community. And when this person says it doesn't matter if I only hurt myself, oh, I'm so sorry. I was just talking to a Dr. Carey, who's at the University of Maryland at Baltimore. And you know what we were talking about? I mean, there's this new community center that they're dedicating here off of West Baltimore Street. And when I met him at the reception, I told him about when I found out he was into microbiology and some other stuff. I raised the issue of AIDS and chemsex. And then we began to talk. And remember, I've been saying to you that there's no way those prophylactics that they're saying are 90 or 95% effective. So you can have all the sex you want as long as you take the pill.
Right.
He's saying that that's not true. And each time you have sex, regardless of whether you take the prophylactic or not, you increase by about 20% the chances of contracting the disease. Meaning that all the people thinking taking the pills will save them, they've been lied to. So that means it's not 90 or 96%. He began laughing at me. This is his profession, to track the disease, and he's now working with folks to look at, but this is what nobody's talking about. We have huge numbers of people who have no longer died from AIDS. They're living to be in their 50s and 60s and 70s with AIDS. But you know what they're talking about? They're saying that people who get and take the retrovirals, okay, listen to me, gay folks, and I'm saying this out of love. This ain't hatred. Nobody's punched nobody in the head or called your name, but hear me. Hear the voice of common sense. The people that take the drug cocktails to survive the venereal diseases that they contract, what happens is in your body, your cells have a reverse transcriptase. In other words, your cells adapt themselves to resist certain sorts of infections, but as a result of changing their structure, how they function, where it may have provided immunity in one place, it removes it from that place to fight against the infection. HIV or whatever else is there. But guess what's happening? People are getting Alzheimer's faster. People are getting cancers faster and rapidly. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
And more rapid aging for people who have HIV AIDS, who have taken the medication, which means they're going to die younger, die more painfully, and be sick. So you didn't beat AIDS after all. And he agreed with me. The people who are taking the prophylaxis pills or using condoms or other things are participating in a larger project to make strains of these infections, STIs, and sexually transmitted diseases that will be harder and harder for the medical people to at least keep people alive.
Wow.
So you've heard me say folks are going to be dying off.
Right.
It's coming. It's coming. Uh-oh, I'm being joined. Let me pull her in.
We still have the caller on the line as well, too, Doctor.
Yes, sir. You ready for me, brother?
Danto.
Hold on 1 second, brother.
Okay. Danto.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Okay,
Danto,
I've
how
got
you
Brother
doing, sister?
Brother Patrick, we're talking. Can you give us a Haiti report?
Yeah. Actually, I called you to ask you how's your candidate going, but yeah, Haiti report. We're the people are in the streets, but the thing is, we don't have enough military power. Trump is not going to do anything. He's not actually bringing in the Marines. Like, I think if it was a traditional person in the White House right now, they would have crushed the protest. But he's letting the establishment bring in security contractors from Israel, and supposedly they're being the bodyguard of this puppet president that the people say is corrupt and doesn't represent them. But at the end of the day, the reason why all these people are in the streets is because all the city was taken in after the earthquake, and none of it changed their condition. But that's not what the media is saying. Obviously, the media is sort of like narrowing it down to just the money from Venezuela. But they're talking about $21 billion that was brought into Haiti after the earthquake, and most of it stayed in the hands of the, ambassadors and people with not-for-profits and the big NGOs, and of course, Clinton Clowney and so forth. The Beltway.
Can I chime in and say about similar amount of money has come into Baltimore, and it has not reached the people. It's the exact same situation. And to answer your question, Sister Reba's doing fine. We're going to do better. As you know, Mr. Cummings is deceased. What you may not know is Nancy Pelosi's brother is now deceased. Unfortunately, she should have joined him, but God is in the blessing business.
Okay, what tells the significance of Cummings being gone?
Well, it opens the door for her because she's running against him.
Okay. I didn't think he was running. I thought he was, okay.
No, he's running. She's out now.
Okay.
And now we have a corrupt wife. And so it's basically between her and Reba. What Reba has to do is get some money. If Reba gets any money, $100,000, $200,000, it's a true race. There's a special election that will be announced some point next week. And that means we have 4 elections instead of 2. And we have to compete in 4. And it just means it will help put a greater urgency. And now the whole country is focused in on Baltimore in this special race. As I promised, the brother True Power is mine, that this would be a nationally watched race. I told him this, and now this is happening.
Yes.
But what I add is that Nancy Pelosi is going to come here, and I've got to reach out to you to see if we can organize a protest against her, because her brother and her father were mafia dons who worked to bring drugs into our community and destroy us. And he's died, and we want to protest that. But even better, the gentleman named Mike Miller, who's run the Maryland Senate since 1975, stepped down today. Mr. True Power is mine, is a witness that I denounced him yesterday and said he needed to get out. He needed to be driven out of power. And when I got up at 2 this morning, I got with my prayer partners praying that God either kill him or move him today. And he stepped down today after 44 years. So I think I know you don't like my Abrahamic religion, but it's been working like shake and bake. And maybe I need to pray. And so I have.
It's your attention that works, okay? Believe me, it's not any other thing. It's your intention.
So my intentions are pure. So I need a list of people that you can't stand, and we will be doing our black Christian voodoo on them. Okay, and I need to tell you, last week I had a vision, and I called the bishop and said he's going to die tonight. I want you to pray so you can push him all the way over the cliff. I don't want him to be revived.
Oh my God! Are you talking about Cummings?
Yes, ma'am. And so when I heard from the candidate that night,
let's not pray for that. Let's pray for things that are positive.
Well, it is positive when oppressive people go. It's positive.
Yeah.
I will pray for Moisa Juvenile.
But you mentioned Brazilian, okay? And I'm just saying.
Well, I didn't say yours. I said mine.
Okay,
I didn't mention yours. I said Christian voodoo.
Okay. All I'm saying is to focus on what your intentions are.
Our intention is to save my people. And like I said, if this sister gets in, you got a friend. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, listen. This is the other reason I called you very quickly. I know you have someone else on the phone. Someone just called me from Connecticut. Apparently, a lady named Marilyn Moore is that close to being the mayor of Bridgeport, but I guess something's happening to her campaign, and so they asked me if, they have, I guess, just a few days before the campaign. I have no idea what the timetables are, but they told me that she's very close to it, and she wanted to see if there was some sort of more national figure that would come in and support her as a national. She's looking for somebody like Stacey Abrams. Do you have any connection?
Not to her, But you know, everyone knows my joke is that she reminds me of Walter Payton from the Pittsburgh Steelers with no helmet on. No, I don't deal with Stacey, but
I mean, it's been a long time since I've dealt with the, Democratic power brokers. I just don't. But they call me because I used to do that when I was in Connecticut.
Is she a good woman or is she a bad woman? Do you know who the hell it is?
Marilyn, I just looked her up, okay, because I didn't know. But she's an older woman. She's 70 years old, and she has gone outside of the party politics. I think like last year, she endorsed a candidate that wasn't Democratic, so she's always going against them. And I think that's why they're trying to steal the elections from her. At least I'm repeating what I was just told.
Is she a Democrat or is she independent?
I assume she's a Democrat, but right now I don't think she's the official party for the Democrats. She's probably running independent. I mean, her name is Marilyn Moore. I just looked her up. She's 70 years old, so she's an older woman, so she can't be someone who's corrupt if you're fighting that long. Anyway, they just asked me.
If she's not a Democrat, I would feel very likely. She could be independent. She could be from the extraterrestrial party. I do everything I can not to help blacks to the Democrats. My goal is to smash the Democratic Party. And
honey, you and I both, but our people not there.
Yeah, well, our people can get there. You know what I'm saying? Our people used to not be on welfare. Our people used to believe a family was a man and woman. There are a lot of places that our people can get. We just have to stay the course on it. Let's talk off the phone, and we'll see what we can do for her. In fact, if you have a phone number, let's talk to her, because McKinney might be able to help.
She went to my brother's office. My brother has an office in Bridgeport, and she was there with her office, with her folks, and so he called me.
Okay, well, we'll let's talk offline.
Okay, fine. I just told him, I said, listen, it's been a while. I can try to make some phone calls, but, that's all I know.
Okay,
but you can just look her up. Her name is Marilyn Moore. And apparently,
I will tell you someone that can help her is E. Faye Williams. If she run against a white person, at least do that for me.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know all the details. I just looked her up, and I noticed that she.
I don't want to sound prejudiced. I don't want to sound prejudiced. but I mean,
like I said, she looks like she's been a fighter based on just the quick thing that I see.
Reach out to her and see if we can do a three-way. We can find a way to help her, but I don't want to sound
I can get her on the phone. We're trying to get. Okay. Listen, I can get.
Sure, get her on the phone.
Me.
Get her on the phone.
I want to make sure I can, give her something. Yeah.
Right.
Before I talk to her.
We can get her something. I'm trying to think about who.
Well, this is what I said to them, okay? When they called me and they said, could you come back to Connecticut? We know you've done some politics, and we have 5 days before this general election, and the Democratic Party is trying to take it away from Maryland. And I said to them, and they said to me also that the primary she was just in is being contested in court because apparently she supposedly lost that primary by 200 points. But they think the judge will reverse it, and then she'll be in or something like that. I didn't get all of it.
Okay, fine. Well,
if the judge reverses it and you have more time, then I'll come back to Connecticut and see if I can help.
Right. Well,
in the meanwhile, they asked me if I could get, they want like that gang of women from like one of them or whatever from the Democratic Party, or Stacey Abraham, some big person to come in and give her that final push. I don't know.
I think somebody in my universe would know one of them. I know who knows who could get AOC.
Okay, well, let me know. Okay, I know you want to get off the phone.
No, it's no.
Tell me
We
what
want
you know.
you to stay. We want to stay. The thing is, we want to hear about Haiti, and she want to talk about like this.
Well, I mean, right now, listen, okay. The only way we could change things in Haiti is if we had a power that was bigger than the United States. They would allow the U.S. to come to the negotiating table, and that's only Russia.
That's called Jesus too, but you wouldn't like that. Anyway.
Oh my God!
Look, I gotta tell.
Okay.
I got
my black women pray the most. All right, they pray the most. There's nobody else on this planet that prays to Jesus more than a black woman.
Oh, okay. Now this is what I want to say to you before you go. Do know this. I said it and you didn't hear it. You know that they're trying to make a biopic with the gay Fred Hampton?
What? Fred Hampton is gay?
No, Fred Hampton died with the woman. That's how they knew how to kill him. It's where that's how they got most of the Panthers. Find out who they sleep with, go kill them. And they're always with women. I mean, had they been with men, had he been in the men, he wouldn't have been there when they stormed the house.
Right. Okay, so what are you saying? They're making a movie saying he is gay?
Yeah, or they're using gay actors to imply. So they're going to fragmentize Fred Hampton, you know. And I guess
I don't have time for that. Excuse my language. Let me tell you, right? The gay, all these people, all right. As far as I'm concerned, they don't even exist in my world because I'm only dealing with men that have testosterone and that are real men.
Sure.
You're not homophobes. Don't even bother, okay? Because our people need help. They don't need a feminized black male with a dress on.
This is what Fred
and I have said that publicly.
Well, Fred was like that too until they went after his dad, and now he's crying, saying, you know, I just ignored that stuff, but it didn't allow him. It doesn't allow you to ignore it. But anyway, we'll talk shortly.
I do. Listen, the only thing you know about gay people, where the way I work as a human rights lawyer, is the pedophiles that are hurting my children in Haiti, coming from the United States. They're mostly
but they say that there's no connection between us. Oh, they wouldn't do that. That would never happen. There's a complete concrete wall with us.
That is the pattern of colonialism. That pattern of colonialism doesn't change.
Oh my God, they're going to take us off of YouTube. Oh my God.
Anyways, listen, okay? Every time I talk to you, you bring up this topic. I told you I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, the point is it doesn't allow us to escape. This is a problem. So I get cold.
Okay, the only thing I do with pedophiles is put them in jail. That's it.
Well, that's one place I don't want criminal justice reform. So I'm going to let you go with that. Reach out. Let's see what we can do for the sister. And Ding Dong, the witch is dead.
It's good hearing from your sister, Dan.
All right. Bye.
Wow. That was exciting.
Okay, I'm sorry. So we did about an hour.
I still have a caller that has a question for you. He's basically been waiting.
Okay.
Caller, go ahead.
Well, let him write it out. So let's just, what is the question? And then I've got to go back and help Reba. I'm here on her time.
Oh, okay.
Her food.
Go ahead and do your thing, bro. Go ahead and do your thing, man.
This ask your question, bro. You wait this long. You can say
no, because it was a little bit more. It was a question, but it was more.
Put it this way,
a
brother.
little bit more fire to the commentary.
Put
I'm
this
a 46-year-old black man here in Columbus, Ohio.
Right.
Which is the gay capital of Mid-America, right?
Right.
And you probably would need to interview me because I'm very astute in terms of how a lot of things flow and how important Ohio is, especially in Columbus and the makeup in the capital of how things are flowing. I just want to add this to the commentary. And the eloquent words of one of our community organizers and political prisoners, there'll be no killings without killings. I just want to echo some of the sentiments that you were saying earlier. There is a tremendous vibration going on right now in the air with these individuals talking this Civil War jazz. But no one is concretely coming out and saying, who is this Civil War supposed to be thwarted against? So at the sound of my voice, for the ones that are listening. I'm talking about my people. I'm talking about black people, because sometimes we feel disenfranchised and we have nothing to pull from or nothing to hold on to. But that same spiritual energy that we have relied upon to take us through the dark days and brought us to here, that's going to be some of the same energy that's going to be needed to push us through. So I'm also saying, too, along with us physically organizing ourselves and getting prepared with the proper ammunition, there's millions and millions of ancestors that are ready to ride, too. I got a million of them to ride with me every day, fierce and ready to roll at command. So I want our people to also know, too, for those who don't subscribe to particular religions, you can tap in and assemble your spiritual army as well and get prepared. Because the same way that these jokers, they think, oh, man, y'all think y'all going to ride over here and kill black people and then go home and have a barbecue? No, it's not going down like that. It will be an extinction level event. And I want my energy to be felt so it can go viral through the internet, too. The Major League Baseball umpire talking about, oh, if my president gets impeached, I'm going to go get an AR-15. So are we, bruh. So are we. And that same energy that y'all think that y'all could just come through physically, we got millions of ancestors ready to ride as well. So I just want to let you know, bruh, that we appreciate you. And we want our other brothers to know, too, we do have something that we can lean upon. Yes. We do have something we can lean upon. And lastly, if I may, I just want to adjourn with this. And it's been on my heart, too. And this is for another discussion. But I honestly believe that pro sports was one of the worst things that could have happened for black people. Because especially football and basketball. That could have been one of the worst things that could have happened, because every time there's a discussion to talk about some type of reparation or us making that move to get what is owed to us, they always stick them out there as the buffer. Oh, come on, bro. What y'all tripping on, man? I mean, we all doing good. Nah, bro, y'all doing good. Y'all getting a couple little pennies. Nah, bro. Yeah, I'm just sick of that too, man. Acting as the buffer. And that's one of the reasons why the Kaepernick thing scared them so much. It had nothing to do with him kneeling. They know we are close to that final discussion of talking about cutting the checks. There's nothing else to talk about. Ain't nothing else to talk about but going to get what is owed to us. So that is one of the reasons, too, why they keep talking this Civil War shit, because they already know what's about to go down, bruh. It's not enough. Where else do we go? What else are to do? Y'all done killed us, y'all done made us, y'all done hung us. Y'all still shooting and killing us. So, shit, if it's going to go down, it's going to go all the way down. And that's why I'm saying right here, too. The spirit, I want my spirit to be felt. Yes. They will not keep punking us like this, bro. Like, all right, we going to go. Man, what y'all think I'm going to come ride on us? We ain't going to do shit. What? Man, they keep playing with this black rage. Right now, we like that one dude in school that keep getting messed with. Everybody like, okay, bro, I keep telling you, leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And when we turn this shit on, man, I'm telling you,
it's all the way up.
We have the ability, man. That's what brother.
Preach
the doctor's on here talking right now. He's talking about we perform alchemy every day.
Yes.
We perform alchemy every day just to get around this motherfucker. So I'm telling you right now, I feel it. Yes. It's in my spirit. I feel it. I already know. I'm speaking on behalf of myself and the ancestors. So that's why I want them to know, too, that's listening, man, y'all not going to be punking us. Y'all not coming through here tearing shit up. I mean, y'all not going off to, y'all doing it on some silent shit. Y'all doing it under the guise of being a police officer. But keep playing with us. Keep fucking playing with us, and we going to show you what we about. Keep playing with us. Actually, y'all done already played enough. They done already played enough. But the wrong person gonna get killed, and it's gonna set some shit off. And then 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be one of them bougie, in the buffer zone type ass niggas' kids, and it's gonna set some shit off. And I'm just at a point right now, man, where I'm just like, man, hold on, man. Wait a minute. The narrative, first of all, y'all trying to feminize our men because y'all already know that y'all know that the war is about to go down. So y'all don't want us to be sharp on our toes. We see what they doing. So we're here right now to we putting our own narrative on this thing, man.
Yes.
And we ain't going for it. So I'm just letting y'all know we here in Columbus, Ohio. I don't give a fuck what they say. We prepared and ready to roll. Y'all know how we get down. You know, you can't even be the president if you don't win Ohio.
That's true.
So we can really, that's why I say you might want to interview me, bro, because I'm in Columbus too. I'm in the capital of this shit. I'm living in a city named after the greatest atrocity and thief of all times. So, and we know names carry vibrations and connotations. So how you think Columbus, how you think I feel every day? Living in a city named after the dude who allegedly founded this bullshit. I live in Columbus, Ohio. So the same thing the brother is saying, I can feel the spirit of the people out of Baltimore. I can feel it. And that's why I got to be like this, because of the city that I live in with this name. So I just want to commend you, bro. Keep doing the work. We here. We ready to do what we got to do. And I'm just letting you know there are some people who are in tune, and we ready, brother. And I love you.
Right on, brother. More love back. More love back.
Peace.
Good spirit, man. And thank you, Carl, for this holding on. That's what this show's about.
I want to say one thing to him, and I may just call this sister that you got to meet. But anyway, look, our people have long since lost the understanding. I don't play sports. And I didn't like sports coming up, not because sports were bad, but what I saw in sports was a type of effeminate program, or should I say a catty, bitchy program that is put inside of black men. It is not playing basketball or football or baseball or any of that that makes people catty or bitchy or effeminate. It is that it makes black men think that every other black man is a rival or a competitor instead of a brother. The true purpose of sports and most other cultures is a paramilitary training process.
Correct.
All of your nationalistic movements hid as sports clubs. The Nazis were sports clubs. All these people were sports clubs. And it was a political and social and cultural education that went along with the sports. We're the only people where it's about contracts and screwing white women and getting high and having a shoe line and abandoning your community. So I don't care that much for pro sports, not because I don't like people making money or doing well, but because it's an assimilation, devolution program within pro sports. Even Jackie Robinson learned it late in life, and he died young. I think I'm 54. Jackie Wilson was dead by my age. He didn't live that long. Maybe he's 56. I'm going to check. Jackie Wilson, I don't think Jackie Robinson did not live to be 60, if I'm correct.
Wow.
I think he died relatively young. All that he realized sports was cooning. He was very bitter. And I don't knock sports, but it does not build up our people. Are you understanding me? Instead, our people, black men, hate one another. I've seen folks want to kill each other over a sporting event, but they would never stand up to a cop who shot a grandmother in the head for getting a can of cherry soda. Okay, this is the thing that bothers me. Okay? This is what bothers me. Let me see. He was born, let me see. Yeah, I'm right. He died relatively young. Let me get his age. Jackie Robinson. If he had lived to, wow. Yeah, he was, hold on, let me get his age. He died he's about my age. Give me 1 second.
It's just the stress of life that got to him. It had to have been.
No, yeah, well, also, he learned that he had been pimped. He had been used, right?
Right.
He had been used. It's just a fact. Okay, he had been used.
To what? Basically destroy the Negro League?
He learned that.
And he just couldn't handle that reality of knowing that he destroyed so many men's ability to put food on their table.
Guess what? He died at 53. He didn't even live to be 54. I'm correct.
Wow.
And they don't talk about, number 47, they ran him in the grave. I'm 54. I feel like I could live another 50 years. Couldn't imagine being dead at 53. Jackie Robinson's already gone. He was so embittered by what he discovered, the racist element in the country, he couldn't salute the flag or listen to Star Spangled Banner stuff before Kaepernick was even alive.
Right.
Okay. Sports is supposed to teach people to be united. All these people use sports to come together. Well, black men talk about competitive sports all day long, and we're more divided and catty than a bunch of drag queens in a high heel shoe race.
Ugh.
Can't come together. Put black men in a club, get 20 women every man, and they fighting over women.
Yes, unfortunately.
It teaches black men that every other man is the enemy instead of every other man is a brother. White men can come together around sports. They even play sports that are often less contact-oriented, which requires cooperation, like crewing, which is what I'd like to promote as a sport, where you need the other person, every person together. You have to understand the sports that they promote amongst us are those that make, like boxing, beat the hell out of each other. I'll make you rich, killing another black person, sure.
Man.
And when they fight a white person, they put more money on it. Two black men fighting each other, right? So I've had that feeling about sports. There's a very good book called Darwin's Athletes. It's worth looking at. My cousin, who was assassinated, Arthur Ashe, was a true athlete who used his influence in sports to fight for black people. That's real athletics. It's defending and educating and enlightening people. Physical education is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
You do need to keep your body up as well as the mind. If you notice in our community, the way they have us is that they don't mind giving you all the sports things, basketball stuff you want, football, but nothing for the mind. And
that's
a
just the
whole lot of
playbook.
black men have been made stupid because they can make more money running a ball up and down the field, although their agents who are often not black take all their money. A black person like me who's well educated makes less money than the black man who can't read. It's a whole manipulation of perversion. So that person that's brilliant, that knows your history and culture, he's starving. You who hate yourself, who has a white woman taking all your money, or you got all these babies because all the girls took the condoms out of the trash can in your dorm room and they have paper on your ass. You make more money than geniuses. And so it means being stupid, but being physical is okay. There's a picture up on Google. It's a Google image of a white man with a whip in his hand, with a giant black dude with a big body, but he has no head. And there's a bale of cotton, and that's that image of black men. And you know what? The only update if we were to do that picture is you'd give him a big penis.
Damn.
That's how they see us, and that's how this sports cult has gotten us. In fact, I'll tell you a story, and I'll stop here. Back when I was a student at UVA, they were having a party. This is 1994, wow, 25 years ago. And some folks from the city, the town, who the people at UVA, these black folks in college, hated the people that weren't in college, crashed the party. When they were told to get out, they broke bottles and began threatening to stab people. And the football and basketball players were flinging young women in front of the men with the broken bottles to protect themselves.
Wow.
These athletes. And ultimately, a friend of mine was thrown in front of them, and he ended up beating up all the guys until someone hit him on the head with a chair. And the big athletes didn't do anything to help him. They left dude to bleed. Luckily, someone got him to the doctor, but he could have bled to death. All these big, strong, I'm not an athletic guy, I'm not a tough guy, I'm not any of that stuff. You always see me say that because I'm tired of black manhood having to be a big dick, big muscle, in the gym, strong, basketball, dribbling, football, running. That doesn't make you a man. God makes you a man.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And no one can take that from you. Well, anyway, the same people who could not help this man, when they had the numbers over these two or three guys, when I read a poem calling the men bitches, which I did, I called them bitches and weak. I did in front of 800 people. 20 of them wanted to physically beat me. And I asked them, brothers, why didn't you do this to the men that attacked our sisters? Yeah, you can beat me, Sure, I'm not a tough, I'm an egghead, I'm a nerd. But why didn't you have some of this fight for folks threatening our party, our sisters? And the guy says, we're on scholarship. I says, I'm on scholarship right now, and you want to beat me? And I says, you called us bitches. I says, I did. Yes, I did. And I can't take it back. The guy says, well, we want to go in the room. I says, no, I won't go in the room with you. You're right about one thing. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a physical person. If you're going to beat me, you have to beat me right here in the hallway so everybody can see that all of you are going to jump me as one person who's nobody's tough guy. But yet you same people in your own residence couldn't protect our sisters from home intruders. Go ahead and beat me. But what you don't know is my cousin is mayor of Hopewell, Virginia, and he's best buddies with Douglas, what's his name? Douglas Wallace. And I said, if you injure me, we're going to sue you. Okay, and I'm going to make it difficult because I'm going to request that you guys have to take care of me. And I'm going to do everything I can to have diarrhea all day long drinking orange juice. If you kill me, I can assure you my mother and father support the death penalty. And it'll be a lives for life. Whatever you want to do to me, you're right. I'm not a tough black man. I'm not a football playing RBG black man, but I do stand for what I believe in. Here I am. Take me.
Wow.
And the police, one white policeman showed up and they all ran.
Stop.
They could have beaten up the policeman. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is what I mean by the pussy, petty bitchiness of 95% of black men would crush or hurt a black man or woman that's not trying to fight them, but they have no fight for their communities, for their children, for the unborn, for our community, for our economy, for their God. No fight.
It's a shame that they
kill
couldn't have.
for a pair of tennis shoes. But they wouldn't even threaten to kill road cops murdering them, demanding blowjobs from little kids like they do in Landover, Maryland. There's a cop that goes around making kids giving blowjobs by the dumpster. That man will live to be older than Methuselah. When it comes down to confronting real power, most black men, they have less fight than a glory hole, cum-sucking sissy who's being told that they can't wear a dress during the missionary service at the local church around the corner. And I want black men to explain that to me. While you go to the gym, you got all this musculature as if for show. And who are you showing? Because we know a lot of gay folk go to the gym and work out. Who needs to see all the muscles if it doesn't make us safer or more secure? We're not living longer, so it doesn't make you healthier. What is all this manhood pursuit that's not financial, political, social, or cultural? It's an exercise in vanity. And so I call a lot of these people social faggots.
Damn.
You just don't wear a weave and you don't get penetrating your booty, but just as powerless as a man who has contempt for the kingly, manly, regal, African priestliness inside of it. Okay, I restore the rest of my time to your program. We must do this again. I want to have you do another program with this sister named Deborah. I'm going to give you her number because she's an expert on.
Well, you don't want to give it to me on a live show.
Yes, she wants to do a live show. I'm going to give you her number. I don't care who hears it. She don't mind people calling if it's in Black Indian. Let me give you her number. It's 404-453-0300. 404-653-0300. Her name is Deborah. She's a Black Indian, and I'm a Black Indian. And we had that discussion the other day. We're going to overturn blood quantum. I don't just want reparations as an African descent. I want reparations for being indigenous. I haven't celebrated Columbus' birthday since I was a child. In fact, Columbus is my Hitler. Columbus is my Stalin. Columbus is my Ceausescu. Columbus is my Ferdinand Marcos, right? He is my Francisco Franco. He's my Mussolini. He's my Ivan the Terrible. Huh?
Yes.
And
King
Bartholomew de las
Leopold.
Casas alongside him. Okay? So I'm going to let y'all go here. Tell them my cash app is Dr. Dr. Randy Short. And you know the D is capitalized, the R in Randy is capitalized, and the S in Short is capitalized. Give me a piece. We down here fighting. And we have to hang on. If we can get Reba some money. I told you this. I've been telling everybody. The black movement started in Baltimore. The ancestors wanted to come back here. And it has to be so because I keep telling you what's going to be and you see it happen. And this is happening on the street that my people were fighting against slavery 170 years ago. So literally, like the brother said, I had been moved back to where my people are from to be a part of resisting what's happening to us. And that brother's right about Ohio. As you know, I hang out in Yellow Spring and Xenia, and you have to come through Columbus. And I've been in Columbus, and the last time I spent time in Columbus, I was going to the Million Man March. I had to purge myself after just being in Columbus. It was deep.
The Spirit's
I
with us.
prefer
The
Cleveland.
Spirit is with us.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Spirit is with us. And the scriptures say God will never leave us nor forsake us. I mean, our ultimate ancestors, the all-powerful God that knows everything and has all the collective power. And we have to believe that. Now, I'll tell you something. We need to begin to speak into existence. It says the scriptures, the power of life and death is in the tongue. We need to call death on our traitor leaders. Call death on the racists and the two-party system. Death on capitalists and predators who hurt our people. Death on the mass incarceration profiteers and the mortgage home loan fraud people. This is what we must do. And not just do that, but take actions. As the brother said, my thing is we must have the means to protect ourselves. I was sharing with my fellowship from Nehemiah. Nehemiah, the greatest revivalist of the Old Testament, they rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem with a brick in one hand and a sword, the equivalent of a gat, in the other hand. You're going to rebuild your nation, rebuild the walls, put the gate back up, and restore the family. The first thing they did was they got their gats and they built the wall. And then they ultimately, just read the book of Nehemiah, they kicked out all the swirlers and people who couldn't decide to be with the righteous people who stood with the ancestors and their God. Read the book of Nehemiah. You can read it in 15 minutes. It's right there in the Word. Get rid of the swirlers. Get rid of, in fact, in Nehemiah 4, it talks about their boule, their bushy ones, their crooked preachers and politicians who made the people slaves, doing business with the enemies of their own race, making them slaves and selling them to their enemies for profit, without any regard that would ultimately bring about the destruction of the people. That is our book. That is our story. And have we learned anything since Nehemiah to stop betraying one another, to stop using usury on one another, to stop running after other people's gods and other people's women and other people's standards of beauty and of whatever else? And so I restore the rest of my time to you. You have Sister Deborah's number. We must communicate. And again, reparations now, for tomorrow, today, forever, as African and as indigenous people. All right, I'm out, brother.
All right, brother. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, that was Dr. Randy Short, y'all. Once again, that Cash App is # capital D R capital RANDY capital SHORT. If you can help the brother, by all means do so. And thank you for sharing with the show too as well, using the super chat function at the bottom of your chat screen. Brothers and sisters, your support has been essential in this broadcast, essential in this program. So this will conclude yet another TPIM. That's our live for today. Today's date, October 24th, 2019, the year of our Lord. I want to thank Dr. Short, Sister Dano, and the caller. Last but not least, the caller with the passion. You represent, sir, the ultimate agenda of any movement. It's reaching, and not just reaching, but energizing an individual to a higher vibe. Now, I could tell that brother was already on a higher vibration before he showed up to the show. You can tell. He had contemplated a lot, and his patience shows his intelligence. Was he all on the... No, he wasn't. He was patient. That means he's disciplined. That means he's had the proper training. This will conclude the show. I'm your host, True Power's Mind. As always, live your life with integrity without hate, envy, or greed. As always, brothers and sisters, I ask that we please try to be kinder to each other. Peace and power, unity and victory, dignity and respect, and liberation. And I'm out.